Oh, oh, got it. I think so. I think so.
It says meeting is now streaming live on YouTube.
Okay.
You did it.
Is it really? Is it really? Okay.
Yes, we're
So
live on YouTube.
we're live.
Yes.
Whew. Wow.
Hallelujah. Now, if you want, do you want to copy the link on your Facebook page so people can
I
go to
think, is it the same link as before?
No, it's a new one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, got it.
To wait a
I
couple
think
of
so.
minutes because now people should be joining.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So as we're getting ready, I want you to go ahead and introduce yourselves. Let's start with Renee. Renee, you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Renee Jacque. I appreciate the invite to this live update, supporting my mentors and teachers.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Alexis?
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for this amazing gathering today to connect and also discuss about our individual experiences with our masters here. And truly grateful for all the knowledge that you have shared to us, and very blessed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Last but
Ruba.
not least,
Yes, my name is Ruba Moghraby, and I am blessed to have this mentoring group, these mentors, my teachers, and I'm excited to kind of share with everyone else how life-changing this is, personally and to the business.
Thanks. And then we have Antonio
Awesome. Thank you.
Sangio.
hello everyone. Thank you for joining us. I hope you know me by now.
Yeah. And yeah,
I'll
tell
be
them what happened this morning, just so that they know what happened. We were a little delayed.
We're a little delayed. Some issues connecting Zoom to YouTube. We were missing a key or something like that, right? The software was acting up. So we're finally
Exactly.
here, which is good.
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 So
Alba, let's
yeah,
go ahead and
go
start
ahead.
and explain the reason why we're getting together this time. Or you want me to explain it?
No, you explain it. Yeah.
You explain it. Okay, good. So we have done live before, but it's the first time we invite practitioners, people that took introspective hypnosis or past life therapy, right? And in this case, Alexis, Ruba, and Renee took introspective hypnosis and past life therapy. First time we're doing this. Why? Because it is always Alba and I talking about the classes and saying how great it was and all the things that you can learn. And then you might have watched videos, right, of testimonials of people saying, oh, I love the class, it was nice, right? But what happens afterwards? What happens when the class is over, when you start practicing, when you start facing your clients and different type of scenarios you're going to run into in a session? What happens then? So this is why we invited these ladies, right, beautiful ladies, to tell us a little bit about their experience, their learning curve, their process. So that's the idea. Do you agree, Alba?
Yes. And I'd like to start with Renee, because I remember Renee very clearly from our class. And Renee was kind of very reluctant. She was pretty scared of the whole process. And I remember, I don't remember too many people from the classes, but I remember Renee because she was like, oh, so like, I don't know if I could do this. And so Renee, tell everybody how you felt in class, because I do remember watching you and there was a lot of insecurities there.
Right. No, but even each of you, before you start, right?
Yeah.
Do you have any previous knowledge of hypnosis?
Yeah.
When you join us?
Yeah. So let's start with Renee.
Stuff like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, thank you. I'm glad I had the effect on you, Alba. It's funny. Yeah, I did another training before I came to Antonio's class. And it just left me with more questions, the training. I
The
felt it
first one
wasn't,
that you took.
yeah, before
Yeah.
Antonio. And it left more doors open and more questions. I didn't feel like it was complete. I didn't feel comfortable enough, really going out there. So I thought, okay, I have to learn more. That's all. And then I stumbled on Antonio, and you get the whole thing, all the training, all the tools, everything you need to know within that training session. What did we do that over a 3-day?
It was,
At that
it
time?
was back then was a 5-day, I think.
Mhm.
Renee, it's a 6 days now. I mean, 6 days is the average, but when we do a retreat, we do it 7 days. Right?
Yeah.
The first day is
So-
introduction.
Yeah. And I was still, just dealing with some health issues at the time when I trained with Antonio the first time, right?
Mm.
So, yeah, I'm always kind of like, as I call myself, the turtle.
You got your own pace.
Watch and I listen and I
Yeah.
take it in, right? As
Right.
Antonio said, there's a learning curve.
Yeah.
Right. So what do you experience, or how do you feel in the class? Do you feel like this is for me? I see myself facilitating sessions. I see myself in the future just doing this. What do you experience in the class?
Oh, Antonio makes you feel so comfortable, right?
Mhm.
I normally say I make you feel uncomfortable, but it's okay.
You make me
That's good.
uncomfortable. Yeah, no, he will push you out of your comfort zone, but I mean, you feel comfortable and confident in
Mhm.
what you're learning, and that you have
Yeah.
all the tools that you need to go out there and practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. And what happens when you started practice? Alba, and feel
Yeah.
free to ask any questions.
Yeah. I mean, after that, you took more training after that. But what happened after the class? Because you now had 2 different types of hypnosis
I
background.
did. So I started practicing very slowly. I was working on, the business, setting up a website, things like that, getting my name out there. And then you have to do it. You just have to get on the horse and ride. That was like
Mhm.
my big hump. Get out there. Get out
You
there.
either do it or you don't. There's no like, I'm doing it, a little bit here, a little bit there. You do it or you don't.
No.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
I said, I've been, consistent for the past 3 years. Just boom. I'm just consistent. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And I'm very proud of you, Renee.
Oh, thank you.
I'm very, very
Yeah.
proud of you to see, from where I first met you to now, it's really amazing to watch.
Well,
So I'm
because
really
I use the
happy.
work on myself, right? I have all these beautiful practitioners now,
Yeah.
friends that I've developed, and the work never ends.
Yeah.
Our learning never ends.
Mm-hmm.
As
And
we
I'm so
facilitate
much more
sessions,
comfortable.
right? As we facilitate sessions, we heal ourselves. As
Yeah.
we practice, as we're learning, as you're practicing during the class, you're healing
Mhm.
each other. So that's the difference that we see. You did
Yep.
take, Renee, you did take another training after introspective hypnosis. You took hypnotherapy, right?
I did a standard hypnotherapy
Mhm.
certification. Yes.
Right. And then you took past life therapy.
Yes.
How was it? If you're talking about introspective hypnosis, adding past life therapy, which is not based on past life, we already talked about that. It's based on soul entrapment, following the symptoms,
Yes.
working more with traumas, right?
Right.
How was it? How was your experience going or adding past life therapy to introspective hypnosis?
It really helped my practice. I mean, so if I got stuck or the client was having trouble, I knew I had this other tool I could bring in, right? And even in the middle of maybe just one, say I'm doing introspective hypnosis, I still have other tools to rely on to help the client, right?
Okay. And of course, I'll keep asking one by one, right? We'll keep asking that.
Yeah.
Some people say, right? Some people mention this, Antonio. I feel like past life therapy. I feel like it's a level 2. like it's a more complex technique and gives me more tools. I don't believe in levels, level 1, level 2. You decide at what level you want to be. The fact that you take a level 2 or a level 3 class, if there's a level 3, that doesn't mean anything if you don't practice, right?
Right.
So how do you think is more complex? What was your experience?
Wow, that's a good question. I mean, I think you have to have a basic understanding of introspective hypnosis, because
Okay.
they work together, and it
They
does help
integrate
you.
together. Mm.
Yeah, they work well together. You can use either one as a standalone, but I do think having the introspective hypnosis training first does help you with understanding the past life therapy, right? And those tools, they complement each other.
Yeah. And
Right.
practicing, because you could take the class and not practice and
Correct.
just think that by taking the next one will be, okay, I'm just going to add it. But you do need to know the basics of how to navigate through a
Navigate a
session.
session.
Mhm.
Correct.
Yeah.
But I'll admit, it took me a while to even get on that horse after the training, to get comfortable with it, right?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, you did it. You're here. It's good. Good. Thank you, Renee. Thank you for sharing all of that with us. Alba, please continue. Don't allow me to take
Well-
over the
Well, you
video
do
call.
anyway.
You do it. Go ahead.
It's
what
the
I'm
same
saying.
as in our class.
Don't allow me to do it, right?
All right, so the next one I want to talk to is Ruba, because Ruba, you were in a live class, and I remember you from many years ago. So tell everybody, if you had any previous experience, and how was the class for you when you took it, and what year was it when you took it?
Yes, it was 2019. I wanted to ask Renee the same question. What year did you do introspective hypnosis? Do you remember?
I think you were guys almost there. I don't know if it was the same class or one after the other one.
It was really close,
It
if
was
not
one
the
after
same
the
one.
other one.
I had
Yeah.
Sabrina, Shahira were in my class.
That was right after mine.
Okay.
I did the very
Okay.
first, right? The very
The
first
first
live.
one. So it was 2018.
18.
18, not 19? Okay.
18. Because after that class,
It was 18.
Papa pushed me to switch careers, right?
Wait.
Around.
Quit his job.
Yeah, and I
Well,
resigned at the end. I made a decision I was going to resign at the end of the year. So, and I started full time in 2019. So you do the first class, the very first class.
Yeah.
Good, awesome. Yeah, and Ruba, you took the one in 2019. I think we had two.
Yes.
But okay, but continue. You see,
How was that, Ruba?
allow me to take over.
Yes. So my previous experience was with Dolores Cannon, quantum healing hypnosis. And it was a nice springboard to have with quantum healing hypnosis. You do get tools, and I'm going to use the same analogy as Renee, because this is really how I see the whole process. And I'll backtrack a little bit, because you were asking Antonio about level 1, level 2, level 3. I think you can meet any of these trainings. You're the level 1 going in, or you're the level 2
Exactly.
going in, or you're the level 3 going in, and you'll get something very different from it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So with quantum healing hypnosis, if we have the analogy of a toolbox, it gave me the hammer, it gave me the flathead screw, it gave me the Phillips head. I had no previous really training in hypnosis, but it gave me like the 3 tools that have to come in any toolbox. And it was great. And what was needed then is using those 3 tools that I was given. And it was through practice and doing session after session that I kind of developed my own little tools, like I needed a sander and a measuring tape. And it just came in through the gifts, like you said, Antonio, of doing sessions. And then, like Renee says, stumbled upon, the universe, no accidents, all synchronicities. Here's this class, Introspective Hypnosis. And now it's almost like you gave me that tool, the Allen wrench, but it's a set. And and maybe in that introspective hypnosis you gave me, because Allen wrenches come in different sizes. You gave me the big one, and that one I can still see the holes maybe in that I can come in and fill more. And so when I took past life therapy, also, you gave me more Allen wrenches that I needed. So we're fine-tuning what the sessions can be like. And with, for example, quantum healing hypnosis, and because I was level 1, let's say, I took both levels 1 and 2 in QHHT, but as looking at my journey, I could only use so many tools. And then we had a script that we had to stick to, and I stuck to it like holding on to dear life, because what would we do without this script? And the idea was, you do it enough times to where you don't need the script, then you're free. But even when you learn the script or the technique, there's still a part where once the client reaches to that, okay, I'm there. Now it's all you. And now it's all you. There's no script for that. Where they go dictate, what they say dictates what you do next. So definitely introspective hypnosis. More precise tools, not better, not worse. I'm not comparing them, but they're, for me, much needed in my toolbox. It made the sessions, let me say, more enjoyable. And now also with the past life therapy, it's the confidence that you're not going to have a session that doesn't work.
Exactly. That's exactly how it feels.
Yeah. No induction, no problem. They're not under, big deal. So I had a client, I was telling Renee earlier this morning, I had a client who, because I do massage therapy as well. So I kind of do hybrid sessions where if they allow, we kind of connect to the body and do these other things. And I had several sessions with this woman. She's a new client, but she's been in because she's had several accidents over the past 2 weeks. And she sees kind of my flyer and it says hypnosis on it. And she tells me how she's interested in it, but she's terrified of it. And she doesn't, because we take over and she doesn't know what we're going to do to her mind and make her body do stuff. And said, but we've already done it. We did it just now before before we ended. And it's just lovely to see how natural this work becomes. You can insert it into conversations. It's not hypnosis. Even the word means something different to me now. It's a spectrum. You can have meditation and hypnosis on the spectrum, but it's all about waking up to yourself. And so yes, to me, I love the tools that I'm learning. Oh, one more thing that, it wasn't like in my, it wasn't told to me at the beginning, but what you get is this mentoring, ongoing mentoring. So since 2019, beginning of 2019, without fail, every month, Antonio is there. Every month. This is like
get together
live.
on Zoom.
Exactly. You want to come. You want to miss, that's fine. But he's also throughout the month, so throughout the weeks, there's also interaction on the platform, on the mentoring platform, and that at live. So years later, I'm still learning and supported. So yeah, it's not like you learn it and goodbye, good luck with that. So it has been life-changing. Absolutely recommend it.
Thank you for mentioning that, Ruben. That's true. We do have a mentoring group, and it's what, $10 a month, right? But $10 a month to me is your commitment, saying I still want to learn. I am here. The moment you stop paying, I understand that, okay, maybe you got what you needed already, or maybe you're going to take a different route, and that's okay, because we had a Facebook group initially, and what I realized is some people were not practicing, so they were not exchanging information. But the ones that I'm mentoring are really committed, and I've seen how all of you have evolved, not because of me, but because of how you practice, the sessions that you brought to every meeting, and how you have practiced also with each other. And
I want to throw something in, because one of the most important things is to have somebody there to support you, to have somebody just listen to you, to just vent with them sometimes. And that's what Antonio and I have had for the last 10 years. I mean, we've known each other, for 10 years now, and we were there for each other as we grew in our different sessions, and the pitfalls and the days that we had that were terrible for us. days that were great for us. We were there to bounce this stuff back and forth. There was nobody else there. So this mentoring group is for you to do that. It's for you to be able to have somebody call up and say, oh my God, that was just absolutely awful, and I don't want to do this anymore. And then, of course, you have the support saying, no, that was just one time. You've had success in the past. You can continue, that was just one learning experience. What can you get out of that? And as a good friend of mine always says, it's not why is it happening to me? It's why is it happening for me? And that's what it's all about. So the class expands because it's not only your class, but as you go into the mentoring, you grow and grow and grow. So it continues. So thanks for sort of saying that, Ruba, because that is something that came from Antonio's heart, that he wanted to continue doing this. It worked for us to be able to bounce things off, and whoever takes advantage of it is really going to, it's going to help them a lot.
I would like to write on that yes, that $10 a month, and some people do fall off the wagon, but then they see that charge come back up, like, oh yeah, and they make that choice. But with the mentoring, it's not just support of what you've learned, because honestly, being given something and then nobody's watching you do it, like you can be now doing it totally off and you don't even know you're doing it off. Right. So to sit and many times I didn't want to even join because, hey, I'm kind of like merging and mixing, and my stuff is like, I don't know, what's quantum healing hypnosis and what's past life and what's, but I went anyway because I'm paying for this. Let me just go. And every time, especially at the beginning, it's like, see, Ruba, I'm glad you went because you learned something. But here's the other thing. As you're mentioning, Alba, how you and Antonio have grown over the years, I see it. I see it in Antonio that he continues to grow. So even from the beginning of 2019, he has changed for me. He is also, my goodness, and that is just worth gold in itself. He is also a bridge to something I would never be able to reach otherwise, which is the wisdom of Kabuli. Who else, Antonio?
Languages.
Yes. And yes. I don't have the time. I don't have the language skills to get, he was with them. He studied with them. It's like learning piano from a student of Beethoven's. So how do you price that? Yes. Thank you for the $10, but thank you for your consistency. And also I do feel that he sits with us as if he has no other thing going on in life. He'll sit and give us all his attention, all his time. He reads a book, he'll share it with us, excerpts. It's beyond, above and beyond, honestly.
Thank you. So,
well, while you're talking about Antonio, because I always tell everybody that will listen, is that Antonio is an excellent teacher and he shares from his heart. There's no ego there. And there are very few teachers that really work from the heart and not from the ego. And that's what he does. There are many times where he's teaching stuff which I would consider an advanced level of stuff to people who are still learning how to crawl. And it's like, what are you doing? But he is so open to teaching, and whatever sticks will stick. And that's what's the beauty of learning with Antonio, is that he really does work from the heart. And there's no hesitation. If somebody asks him something, there's no secrets there. He'll tell you.
Thank you.
Thank you for that, Ruba.
Thank you all for the comments. And what Ruba mentioned, right? I guess the word hypnosis meant something totally different when I started than what it means to me now. Right? Some people, hypnosis, relate the word hypnosis to past life regression, to maybe talking to the higher self or connecting with beings from other planets. But for us, it's working with, at least the way I see it, we're working with the soul. And people that come to us for sessions, they come to open their soul because their soul is trapped in different events, in traumatic events, and they need to move forward. And they're having or experiencing symptoms or patterns, behavioral patterns in their life that they don't understand where this is coming from. And we follow those symptoms to get to the root cause. And then we apply the techniques that we know. And that event could have taken place a few years ago in childhood, in the womb, or in past life. So it's not that we're looking for past life, we run into them as we work with the symptoms. So the change of the word hypnosis has changed completely, at least for me. Good.
So I got to meet Alexis for the first time just a couple of weeks ago, or 2-3 weeks ago.
Yes, it was such a pleasure.
Yeah.
Monday.
Yeah. So tell everybody, what you had before, and how you got to do this and when.
So I did started with QHHT, just like Ruba and many other practitioners that are in our group. I consider as family, and it was something that interests me, and I felt the passion of the subconscious mind and all the other things that they teach. And after I was done with the session, done with the entire class, during the practice and all the practices that they ask you to do, there were some walls that I would come across because I'm following the book and the script, like Ruba said, down to the T. But there were clients that I practice that I can't seem to surpass that moment. And it seems like, now what? I'm like, I don't have a tool to continue. And as a beginner, right, as the first time hypnotherapist or hypnotist, I was just like, it was frustrating, to be honest. And so I said, okay, I'll just stick with it, figure it out. There was, I believe there was some gathering where you could, switch, but it's not like mentoring group. I feel with Antonio and Alba having this mentoring group and always being there for us, of course, Dolores Cannon is no longer with us, but, Julia Cannon and everybody else there. But the fact that I still have my masters here, my mentors, to directly question anything that I come across. But even going back, I decided to kind of stumble around, see what other modality that I could possibly learn. I came across BQH. So I said, maybe this is a new tool or extra tool that I could add to what I feel I don't have enough in order to help with the client.
And I want to add the BQH is Beyond Quantum Healing, which was created by Candace Craw-Goldman.
Yeah.
And she came from QHHT world.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was great. She was definitely more expansive, similar to QHHT, but slightly different. And of course, I come across Alba's video, YouTube channel, and I was just fascinated. I was just like, wow. And it just really touched my heart because of the session that she puts out there. And I know a lot of the personal informations are deleted, but even just within what she posts, and I'm grateful for the clients that she has allowed. The clients that has allowed to have her post their videos, because it's very private information. It's a very deep type of soul healing that it's like hard to share per se, but to be out on the YouTube for everybody, thousands and millions of people to watch. So I want to send out my gratitude to Alba, you with the video, and as well as the clients. But I was just like mind blown, fascinated. And I was watching video after video, and I was like, this is not QHHT. And I was like, there's something that she's doing that is like incredible. Like, for instance, releasing of the spirit attachments, things like that. I didn't discover any of that in QHHT. It was all about the higher self, and possibly that client might go into somnambulistic, which is much, much deeper theta state. I couldn't get my clients to there. They couldn't visualize what I was taught. So I was like, wow. I looked at Alba's bio and I wanted to know, what is this technique? Who is she trained by? And I couldn't find it. And I discovered the teachers, Aurelio and Kabuli. Found out Spanish only. And like Ruba said, I always tell Antonio, I'm so grateful for that. You guys are the bridge in order to make for us, in order to have this technique.
Mhm.
And in order to have more passionate people that truly wants to help assist with this healing of the soul, because there's so many people out there that
Yeah.
needs this healing, and they're going to normal therapy. And I'm sure sometimes normal therapy could help them, but the ones that come to all of us, they said, I spent so much money and I'm just running like a gerbil in circle and circle, and it's not
Yeah.
getting to the root point.
Mhm.
And I'm still having
Mhm.
the symptoms, whatever that is. So it, to me, it feels like now I have chosen, I have discovered Alba that takes her hypnosis to the next level. I keep on researching, and I came across Antonio's website. And I was just like, this was guided by universe, because I was searching and searching, and I didn't just let it go because I was that passionate. Then it was 2020 when I took Dolores Cannon and BQH, QHHT and BQH, spring and summer. By the time I discovered Antonio's introspective hypnosis, his next class was going to be in January of 2021. So I said, perfect. As a single mom, I just happened to get laid off 2020 during the pandemic. I got laid off. And so it was a investment and a big decision, because I already invested on QHHT and as well as BQH. And I said, I asked myself deep in my heart, how bad do I want this? This is not something I could do it for fun and just toss it out the door. How bad do I want this to assist and be the hypnotherapist or the healing modality to help many souls? And I was just like, wow, I need to do this. I need to learn, because the thing that you have shown us, Alba, through your videos was just like jaws dropping, mind blown, And so I was just like, okay, I need to do this. I reached out to Antonio. I signed up, and I was so excited. And it was like a few months into January, and I just couldn't wait. And I finally joined the class, and it was through online class for me. And it worked out, because I'm a mom, and I have a 12-year-old right now that I still have to take him back to school. And so I couldn't attend in person anyway. So
Mhm.
that also makes it so convenient for a lot of people that are overseas or in a situation that they can't attend these 6 days, 7 days class in person.
Right. And it's live online, so it's not recorded. I'm there with you.
That's very important. Yeah, you're interacting. It's not a video recording.
It's so well done. And like the ladies of Ruba and Renee were saying, Antonio is so passionate about his students. Like, truly, if
Mhm.
anybody has, if everybody else gets it, but there'll be like 4 people that's still trying to like digest the information, he would figure out how to explain it in multiple ways, and we would make sure that the entire team understands it,
Mhm.
which is
Yeah.
so beautiful and so supportive that you're not left out.
No one is left behind. Yeah?
No one is
Just like
left
the army, right?
Yes, no one is left behind.
Yeah.
And the wonderful thing after this intense class of introspective hypnosis, because it is definitely different from QHHT level 1 level, and I didn't take the QHHT level 2. For me, there's something that I felt my gut intuition, I need to find these other modality and not level up with the QHHT. And I'm sure the ones that had gone up, they've learned something from it. But for me, I wanted to invest the money, because it was an investment for me, being laid off, and there's short, I had to budget. So that budget money has to be used wisely. So when I decided to take IH, I was like, wow, there's so many different tools. And even the induction was a little shorter than what I was taught in QHHT. And these tools teaches you how to navigate like a GPS, which is so beautiful. And I felt instant confidence. And I was so excited to practice. And again, even through the online class, it was really the way he has it set up. He puts us together in a group, or as a 2 or 3 people, and we practice on each other. I didn't get to do that because with QHHT, it was online and it was just watching a video and then making sure I pass each video as the classes, online, but there was no interaction per se. But there was an interaction and we got to actually practice in person. And on top of that, once this 5 days, 6 days were over, he leaves the video on for you to go back on and watch, like being back in class all over again. And as a visual learner, that was so important to me because it's memorization for my brain to digest and lock it in. And you can make notes, but it is a bit long day. And sometimes at the end of the day, you tend to be a little out of it. And so sometimes it's nice to go back to the video that he leaves for all the 5 days or 6 days of class that we did and go exactly towards the middle part or the end where you feel like you need a refreshment, which is so wonderful. And you could rewatch. He will leave it up for 2 months and you have the freedom to watch it as much as you want. You could even reach out to him and I'm sure he would have easily helped you out and comprehend if you couldn't even understand the video.
Right.
But I remember joining the mentoring group. He does the monthly meeting like Ruba and everybody says. And that's where we could share our individual story, the frustration that we might possibly have. Then Antonio will break it down and say, how about you try this and this and that? That support is just, golden. Like Ruba said, it's so golden because we feel that we could attack any enemies, which is frustration of any type of thing that we come across.
Yeah.
Right. There was a comment that some people made. I wish we had a support group, right? And that's why we came up with the mentoring group. Whoever wanted to join, so we keep learning.
Yeah.
How was, and thank you for sharing all of that, Alexis. How was your experience when you added past life therapy to what you know already about introspective hypnosis?
Yes. So after I took IH, I think it was about a year or maybe a year and a half, almost 2, where I decided to take PLT. Again, it was a big investment for me at that moment in my situation. I asked myself in my heart, do I really want to do this and take it to the next level? And the answer was yes. The way Antonio has talked about these new tools that he has learned from his masters was no induction, straightforward. It's kind of like a heart surgeon going directly, knowing exactly where to target versus wandering around a little bit trying to find some issues. That was even another refreshing, breathtaking moment of, wow, this is a next level tool that you could have. Because I did come across some people can't go into that induction because they're just having anxiety issues, or they're analytical. So when I took this class, it was different, a little bit more intense, but the fact that I had an IH digested and I was already performing and using it on my clients truly helped beyond. And I would recommend anybody who's thinking about taking any hypnosis to start with IH. And then once you digest that, level up, it'll make it so much easier for you because you could merge the two in order to have any tool in your toolbox in order to take care of whatever the situation that the clients get sent to you, right? So for me with PLT, now I feel even more confident and I am being challenged. The clients that are sent to me are definitely way more challenging. And I said confidently to my clients, you come with me and let me assist you. And I have the modality and the tools that I have learned from the best that I can help you as best as I can.
Yes, when I learned past life therapy, I felt that way. I felt at that moment that I could handle any possible situation or scenario in a session. With induction, without induction, didn't matter, right? Because the fear when you learn hypnosis is, will my client go into a trance as I'm saying my induction? And I spent a lot of time learning so many inductions, and then I met Kabuli when I realized that there was no induction needed for somebody to go into the experience. And if we say we got the tools in introspective hypnosis, I think in past life therapy, you get the millimetric tools. You fine tune everything. You go directly to what you need. So thank you, Alexa. Thank you. Any questions? Anything you want to say, Alba? Ask.
Yeah, I had asked the people watching if they have any questions for the ladies here, for you, Antonio, for me, based on what we're talking about, not just any random question. But one of the things that is really beautiful about watching everybody who has taken introspective hypnosis and moved on with it, really doing it, is that we are really helping a lot of people. Because a lot of people ask me, well, I want a session with you, Alba, but there are so many practitioners that have been trained by Antonio who are doing this work, and everybody is different. Everybody is different. Antonio and I have the same tools, but we do it differently. Okay, and so and this comes while you're in a session. You are in a trance yourself, and you are receiving, even though you have tools, but you are receiving guidance. From who knows where. You're being guided to do things. And, there are many, many times when I finish a session, and those are not the kind that are online. And I'll just sit there and I'll go like, wow, like, I can't believe what just happened here. It's just amazing. And it's just an amazing experience for you to be able to help someone. Maybe somebody comes to you, and I had a situation recently where somebody came to me, and as soon as I started asking about personal questions, which is what we do in our interview, the first thing was, I don't want to go there. I'm not touching that. I'm not telling you anything about it. I don't want to go there. And the whole session was about exactly what they did not want to touch. And it was very, very emotional. And I felt absolutely wonderful later to be able to get to the source of that. And to me, it's like popping a pimple. I mean, you got to squeeze, but you're going to get the stuff out and you're going to feel relief afterwards. Okay. Yeah. So that's really what it's all about. And the sessions are they can be very intense. They are dealing with very, very, very personal issues. And what I have been finding myself, I'm going through a really weird situation where almost every session is almost the same. Same background, same type of parents, same type of relationships. It's like right after another. And I'll be sitting there going like, I just did this yesterday. I just did, this is like the same person, but in a different form. So you realize that there are so many people out there in the world that need this work done. And there are so many people who want to help. And if you are a caregiver, if you're the type of person who likes to help people, this is a really Definitely. Good choice. It's a really good choice for you to do.
We get a different type of client. You don't get clients looking for awakening, spiritual. Of course, they're going to be awakened after what they experience in a session, but you have people bring in issues. They're bringing sad. Well, not going to say sad memories, but sad events or traumatic events, stuff that happened to all of us in our lives. And for some of them, it's even worse because stuff happened in the womb or in past lives, and they don't understand why they're feeling this way or they're experiencing specific symptom. So, and the sessions get to be very personal. Have not been able to upload a session for quite a while already. What am I going to share? This is personal information. I cannot share that. I hope people understand. But sessions can be dramatic, but that's what people need in order to heal.
Yeah.
And if we don't do this, who's going to do it? I mean, you have different type of clients that go for a past life regression. You have clients that go for something else. People that want to work on issues, they come for introspective hypnosis. They come from past life therapy session, and this is what we're preparing people for. If you're open, if you're serious about learning hypnosis, if you're serious about helping people, if you're serious
Yeah.
about helping people issues that are experiencing now, forget about past lives. Sooner or later, you're going to run into past lives as you follow the symptom. But learn these
Yeah.
techniques. This is what really is going to help people.
You know, I had a session just recently where the person had had several hypnotherapy sessions, just clinical hypnotherapy sessions. And I said, well, how'd it go? And they said, well, I guess it's all right. You know, I said, what did they do? And they said, well, you know, I didn't do any talking. They did all the talking, and they just did a lot of suggestions. And I don't really remember what happened, but I don't remember any dialogue back and forth. And so after the session was done, it was like, oh my gosh, it was beyond hypnotherapy. This was something else. And some people will leave saying, I don't think anything happened. I don't think that was any therapy, because we were just having a discussion. We were just talking. So the difference between other techniques is that there is a lot of talking back and forth. There is a lot of talking, and the person themselves is connecting dots. And it's not like we're throwing in suggestions there. It's like they're figuring things out. They're seeing it from a different perspective. So it is very different. The subconscious is never addressed. The higher self is never addressed. We do speak with ancestors. We do speak with spirits. We deceased loved ones, but we never address, like in QHHT, because a lot of people will ask that coming into class. We don't ask questions. We deal with issues, and that's a different thing. You don't come to one of these sessions to find out, you know, where you should be moving to, you know, or what kind of job you should be getting to. The issues that people come are issues that you're dealing with. Somebody's asked a question, Anne.
And before you continue, Alba.
Yes.
Alexis, I know that you have a commitment, right? So at any point, if you need to leave, because I know you had to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
I make sure
you're fine. Just feel free to let us know.
You.
We would understand. Okay.
Thank you.
I'm just making sure. Thank you.
So I'm gonna Ann K for the panel. Would a laptop be helpful to take with me during class? I'm enrolled into the April class with both Alba and Antonio.
No.
Is it necessary? Well,
no, it is not necessary.
Yeah.
Oh, for them. Okay.
You don't think you just have your manual, and
I think
you
the
have
way,
the manual.
I think the way Antonia has structured it, it's honestly be present and soak it all in. You have the recordings.
Yeah.
You can, take notes up the yin yang after that. But I think for me, at least, and how I learn, just sit and really immerse yourself in what's happening. This first time it comes around, just be there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Another question.
I'm sorry, Alba, if it's a live class, I don't recommend you to bring a laptop, because in a laptop you can only type, right? And the way I learn is I draw figures and I draw arrows and I go all over the page in my notebook, right? So just bring a notebook. Don't worry about it.
Okay. I'm going to go through these fast. So do we have to practice? Do we have to have an I guess this
Specialty.
she meant specialty or a clinical study to practice?
No.
Okay. Adam says Robert Monroe, when was out of the body, some being shown in planet Earth and so much light beings around the planet, and said this is going to be a huge event. We're not talking about this event right now. We're talking about the introspective hypnosis class. So we're going to just address questions about the class. This is much more comprehensive training than SCHH or QHHT. I don't know what's SCHH. But anyway, it is a lot of learning. And if you come to one of the class/retreats that we're having one in Maryland this May. There's very few seats available. So if you're going to sign up.
It's in April.
April, that's right. In April, if you want to sign up, there's very few seats available. So sign up soon, because this is a retreat, so only a certain amount of rooms are available. Same thing in the Netherlands. We're going to have one live one there with both of us in October. And of course, if you cannot, and a workshop, the Encounter with Your Soul. If you cannot attend, Antonio has online classes. Are there any pre-requirements to take the training? Well,
No.
Antonio highly suggests some books that you can read before the class so that you understand what he's talking about. So when you sign up for the class, he will give you some books that you should look into, because during the class he'll say, did everybody read, this book about this? It's not required, but it helps.
Yeah. Once you learn hypnosis, you should never stop reading. There's so much information provided by other people that have been practicing before us, and even information sent by spirits in order for us to learn. So there's a lot of books that I can recommend, of course. Yes.
Yes. Will you have any virtual sessions available? By sessions, are we talking about classes? Because I just said Antonio does offer online courses, and all you have to go is to his website, antoniosangio.com, and then click on the courses link.
I have an online class scheduled for beginning of March, and then we have. Well, then I'm going to Peru. That's the Rebirth of the Soul. Have a group of we're 17 people all together. Then we gonna have with you Alba in October in the Netherlands, right? But
in the Netherlands.
Yeah. But I recently scheduled a live class, just me, in San Jose, California in September. This is just a class, not a retreat. Alba won't be able to be there 6 days.
No.
6 days, and we go fast with that. Yes.
So,
not fast, but
Antonio,
intense.
tell everybody how long is the online class and how long is the in-person class?
Yeah. So the online class is 6 days, and the in-person class is also 6 days. But when we do a retreat, we add one more day. Why? Because a lot of people want to arrive to the class the same day, and there are cancellations, there are delays, so they miss half of the class, or maybe the first day. So that's why we made it a 7 days, so everybody is there with us when we start the class, right? But it's 6 days, and the material is the same, the knowledge is the same, the practice is the same, either online or live. But when we do live and we call it a retreat, that means that after dinner, we get together and we do demo sessions. So you get to see more of hypnosis.
And practice.
So and connect with others, which is great to be together.
When you're in a live class, like in person, it's a totally different feeling than you're online. I mean, you're still seeing people just like we are right now, seeing each other, but it's very different to actually, sit in the lounge with them or sit at dinner and talk about, their family, themselves, after the breakfast, lunch, or dinner. We're back in class again, but it's a really beautiful setting. People have really just gotten to know each other so well during these retreats. And, you get to know me very well, you get to know Antonio very well, and you get to know the real personality, my real personality when you're at that retreat, because I'm not the same as what you hear on the videos, okay? Alexis, and Ruba just, met me in Dallas. Was it Dallas that we met? Yeah. And they saw a completely different me while I was there, because when I am doing my sessions, I am in a trance. So my voice is very slow. I don't say at all. Everything is precise. And when I'm in person, it's just me. It's just crazy me. So you'll get to see that part of me. And Antonio and I are like brother and sister. And you know what siblings are like. They're always like after each other, and a lot of fun. So you get to sit in class and laugh at our craziness, because it's like siblings going after each other. So
yeah.
Okay, so here's another question. Taking the introspective course in 2019 in New Zealand was one of the most wonderful, useful modalities I've learned. I've been able to help so many people, and it's been quite the ride. I highly recommend it. Thank you. That was a really fun class. Yes.
That was nice.
That was beautiful setting, beautiful people. We had very enjoyable time there with Tamati.
Yeah, beautiful view from the room also,
Exactly.
the lake, Wanaka.
So thank you for saying that. And I know we've run over a little bit. Is there anybody else that has any questions for us? Can you post the link for the sign up?
Let me get the link, Alba.
Yeah. So just to let you know, is it April 5th through the 11th? I think
I think so, yes.
April 5th through the 11th. Antonio and I will be in Marriottsville, Maryland. It's about maybe a half-hour ride from the Baltimore airport, and it's in a beautiful setting. It's really, really beautiful there. Everybody gets there, gets a room, and we start 8 o'clock in the morning with breakfast, and we end whenever. And it's a beautiful place. So that's the next one. Antonio has a few online if you want to go to his website.
Yeah, and if you're planning to join that event in April, don't wait. What happens, and it's sad when you have people trying to join at the last minute because they just want to make sure that they're going to make it, and there are no more rooms, and if they want to stay somewhere else, the closest hotel to Bon Secours is a few miles away, and it's more expensive, and then you need to go back and forth. So don't wait.
Miss out. You miss out.
Yeah.
You miss out. And recently, because Antonio and I are constantly checking how many bodies have registered for the event, because we need to make sure we have enough rooms, and if we don't have enough people, we have to give the rooms away, or else we pay for those. And so we're always checking to see. And in fact, I had a class that I wanted to attend at the end of March, a different thing. And I said, I'm one of those that waits to the last minute. And finally I said, no, I'm going to register, because I don't want to be bad mouthing other people and not do it myself. So I did register for my class early. And so if you're one of those that, is waiting, don't wait. Okay. Because you may end up not being able to come.
We stay, at least I stay late. I go to bed like around 10 or 11. I'm there after we finish doing demos or practicing. We're talking, we're walking around this place. It's going to be April's nicer weather. You get to spend time with us, which is I enjoy. You enjoy, Alba, which is good.
Yeah, I don't have as much energy as Antonio has. I'm a morning person, so when it gets to be late, I start getting cranky. So, but that's just how I've always been. But Antonio just feeds off of the energy, and he is so excited, and he has energy until, who knows what time. Anne just said,
go ahead.
Anne says, I have purchased all of Antonio's books and Destiny of Souls, as well as the Spirit book. I'm learning a lot from the books. I feel that it will help me before the class begins. Thank you.
Yeah. I would recommend for people that want to take the class, of course, you can read the 3 of them, but the Symptoms of the Soul is going to help you understand what we're doing in the session, the Symptoms of the Soul. Yeah, that's the other class. I'm waiting for my last book to be edited. It's done, The Soul in the Womb. Let's see in the next few months I have it ready. Yes. And that's one of the things that we didn't mention here today. We just briefly touched on it, but when you come to class, you will be learning how to take your client back to the womb, which was not taught in the earlier classes. So if you took introspective hypnosis class before maybe a year or so, I don't remember when you started, but you did not teach that before. And taking a client back to the womb, to actually know what happened while you were there, what was going on with your parents, the emotions. Decisions we made there that are affecting us now. Exactly. Yeah. So a lot of these sessions, the resolution will come out from that. Just from there. Just from the womb. Yeah. So a lot of people just need that. Go back to the womb. Yeah. Kathy says, are you planning to hold another training in later month after
April?
I normally schedule a total of 3 online introspective hypnosis courses. So I think this is the first one of the year. In March, I'm gonna have to schedule in the middle of the year, maybe another online. But again, I'm going in person. I'm going to San Jose, but I will be with you, Alba, in the Netherlands. The Netherlands is also a fantastic experience.
Fantastic.
A fantastic experience.
Yeah.
Even if you live in the US and you want to learn this, consider going to the Netherlands because it's amazing. The energy and the experience and the place.
Totally
good.
different. Totally different. So, and for those of you who are in Europe and want to come to to Maryland, it's different
way.
too. So, do you want to just let everybody know verbally where they can find the information, Antonio?
Yeah, I actually put the link there. You can go to my website, antoniosangio.com. The link is there. And you go to courses and workshops, and you have a list. The list is by date. You get to choose. We have different things going on my website. If you want to be informed of the courses we're scheduling, of course, Alba you list that on your
I listed on my
newsletter. I also have a
events.
newsletter, right? And events.
Yeah.
That
And
too.
if you want a session with any of these 3 lovely ladies, you want to tell them where you can find where they can get a hold of you, because I'm sure some of you may want to.
Let's start with Renee, who was the first one.
Renee, how do they get a hold of you?
Well, first you can go to Antonio's website and find a practitioner.
There's a directory.
For
Yes.
those
Yeah.
of you.
Yeah.
How do they get in touch with you? Do you have one for you directly, a website?
Do I?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Otherwise, INNER, source, SOURCE, innersourcehypnosis.com.
There you go. And that's Renee Jacque.
And
where
as I
you
was saying, Google, everybody goes to Google, right? That's where
Yeah.
a lot of people find me.
So do you
Okay.
do in-person sessions and online?
I do in person and online.
Where are you located?
Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
There you go.
Very good. That's not something else that you can practice introspective hypnosis and past life therapy online. So you get
Yes.
clients from all over the world.
All
Yes.
over. And before because I'm gonna ask Alexis next, but before you even think about taking a class, if you know another language, if you speak another language, Japanese, Spanish, German, whatever, this is an excellent way for you to be able to help those people who do not have access to those of us who only speak Spanish, English or Spanish, So, Antonio and I both do these in sessions in English and Spanish, but there are others that say, I'd love to help my Japanese or Chinese or Arabic. There's a lot of different countries there that are not getting access to this. So think about it. If you have another language, you can do this in that language.
That and the advantage is to do it online as well. See what happened during the pandemic. You guys were prepared to facilitate sessions online.
Yep.
And it was the busiest time for us, believe it or not, during the pandemic.
Yeah. Renee, put your information on the link so that they on the chat so they have it.
Chat.
Alexis, how do they get a hold of you and where are you?
I am located right outside of Dallas. My website is merkabahealingstudio.com. And if you want to go on Antonio's website and just type in which one is close, and I believe Ruba is also not too far. She's right outside of Dallas as well. So we're both from Texas, North Texas. And so whichever is more convenient for you and aligned, we're ready to help.
Good.
Awesome.
So just put your link in the chat too. And then
but in the YouTube chat, not
in the YouTube chat. Yeah,
right.
in the YouTube chat. And Ruba, where are you and how can they get a hold of you?
I'm in McKinney, Texas, so that's in the Dallas area. Introspectiveodyssey.com. That's introspectiveodyssey.com. And I do online and in person.
Good. And you also do it in English and?
Arabic if it's necessary.
There you
if
go.
necessary.
Okay. Okay. Good. And we'll try to do this with other practitioners in the future. So this is just the beginning, so that people can get to know you guys. You know what you do,
Yeah.
what you process. So
Mhm.
it's good. We really appreciate that you decided to join us today. So thank you.
Yes, yes. So I'm going to add the information to the description. And that way you can have the links in the description, okay? I'll do that after this finishes.
Okay. Good.
If there's nothing else, I want to thank everybody for joining.
Yes,
Thank
And,
you. Yes.
thank you.
So
And
until
thank
the
you,
next time.
Alba, as usual. Thank you. Thank you for your help and support. And thank you, everybody. Until next time.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you.